Welcome to Element 14's Roadtest program. My name is Mike, and today I'll be starting my review of the ADALM2000 from Analog Devices. The ADALM is a multifunctional instrument that includes a 2-channel oscilloscope, a power supply, and a waveform generator. It's an excellent instrument for demonstrating electric and electronic circuits. It also has 16 digital I/O channels with clock in and clock out, which brings me to the first thing that makes me really excited to try out this device. The ALM in ADALM2000 stands for Active Learning Module. As an integrated instrument, I can use it with confidence that I'm not going to burn it up. See, I fall into the category of electronic hobbyist. That's right, my day job does not involve electronics. So this instrument was built for folks like me to teach or reteach electronic concepts and then experiment, because this is still Element 14. Let's see what's inside the box. The box contains the ADALM2000 module, a micro USB cable, 5 6-pin extra long male headers, and 2 DuPont connector wiring harnesses. You will also need a breadboard, not provided. The first wiring harness is a 10-pin connector. This is used for hooking up the power supply, the function generator, and the oscilloscope. The second connector is a 20-pin connector, and this is used for the digital I/O. The ADALM has keyed pins. The 10-pin connector will fit in the 2 on the left, but the 20-pin connector only fits in the key on the right. Thanks, Captain Literal, but what's in the box? I'm so very glad you asked. Let's get this device set up and see what we can do with it. By far, the easiest way to set up your ADALM2000 is to just plug it in. I'll be doing the Windows setup since all my equipment is Windows. From this screen, we select the info file. It's going to load a web page right off of the module, and basically it tells us everything that we need to do to get this working. I have not upgraded the firmware yet, but I select the Pluto/SDR driver, download it, run it. That'll get me started. Thank goodness we can fast forward through some of this. Next on the list, we'll go ahead and load libIIO. And then finally, the magic sauce, Scopy. This one I'm going to change from a zip to the EXE and launch. And no installation would be complete without a restart. See you when we come back. Welcome back. It's time to launch Scopy. When Scopy first launches, it's going to load a couple of pop-ups. The first is the GNU licensing agreement. So basically no warranty except. The second is if you'd like it to automatically check for updates. Of course, we want that. Because I have the ADALM2000 already plugged in, it's already recognizing the device. Select it. It allows me now to connect. Now I'm ready to use the instrument. With Scopy up and running, we can now see that the menu system's changed a little bit. We can see that we have an oscilloscope, our signal generator, and a few other items that we won't be using right off the bat. A very handy reference is right down here at the bottom of the graphic. This right here shows us the different pinouts. We'll be using this 10-pin section. Let's go ahead and get started by creating some output that we can measure with our scope. I've already got two waveforms set up here. Channel 1, just a 5-volt peak-to-peak sine wave. I have to keep remembering to click waveform when I want to do this. Set the 5 volts. When you write values in here, you have to remember to hit the return or the enter key. You can't just tab out, it doesn't remember. And we're rocking 1 kilohertz. Add channel 2. I've went ahead and done a square waveform. Again, 5-volt peak-to-peak at 2 kilohertz to show the, or to create these waveforms. We'll go ahead and run these and then switch over to the oscilloscope tab. So right now, we're not seeing anything because we haven't turned it on. So we hit run, and we come down to auto set. Get me out of the way. You can see that we now display the waveforms. Let me back out of the way. We can change the time intervals. We can change triggering. One of the coolest things, though, is you can just automatically zoom by drawing a box. Oh, that's not enough. Oh, that's not enough. I mean, that's pretty cool. And to back out, just right mouse click. And that's kind of it to actually create waveforms and view them in the scope. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to compare this to a separate function generator and a separate oscilloscope, just to show that it is the same as what we see here. So I'll get that set up and we'll take a look at those using Scopy to view the function generator and using the oscilloscope to view the output from Scopy's signal generator. So this is the same circuit with an external function generator or signal generator. We've got the same 1 kilohertz sine wave on channel 1 and a 2 kilohertz square wave on channel 2. Using the Scopy scope, And you can see the signal generator with the spikes. That zoom feature is pretty cool. In this setup, we're demonstrating the Scopy signal generator connected to a Multicomp Pro USB 2-channel oscilloscope. And here's the oscilloscope trace. Well, that's enough for an unboxing video. Hopefully I've given you a decent glimpse at some of the ADALM2000's functionality and how easy it is to set up and get started taking measurements. We've seen that it's a real instrument performing on par with standalone signal generators and USB oscilloscopes. We've also seen that it can work with these external instruments should it need to. The ADALM2000 has other capabilities that I hope to learn during this road test. After all, it is a learning tool. So far, I'm really liking the integrated instrument and the Scopy software. One USB to rule them all. Next up for me is to work my way through the Electronics 1 curriculum provided by Analog Devices and built around the ADALM2000. I'm excited and pretty confident that I'll be smarter when I'm done. How excited and how confident? Well, I was going to try to do this road test with the components that I had on hand, but after playing with the ADALM2000 for a couple of days, I went on Newark.com and bought the recommended parts kit, so I don't miss out on any of the activities. This is going to be fun.